Hello to the Dictionary. Today we will talk about comparative victimology. Comparative studies in general are studies based on comparisons about similarities and differences between the same subjects but in different fields. The same rule can be applied to comparative victimology. It consists of comparisons of victimological constructions existing in different contexts. It's a study in what measure something is similar and different to each other when the context changes. Most comparisons are done within the field of the countries and their cultures. It's quite obvious that considering something and the cultural differences, one thing can be different to another, maybe slightly, maybe a lot. And as a culture have a great impact on law and administration of the country, certain constructions has to be modified to fit the area in which they should work. Differences also occur because the way law is constructed, and as victimology is strongly linked with law, it also implies that these changes are within the victimological context. It can be caused by governments or lobbies, but the same term can be slightly different in different countries. We can see that on example. As we know, victimology is concentrated on victim. We can assume that it's a term as a most important term in victimology that is strong and not really capable of changing in different contexts. But we can see that it's not true. For example, in Spain, in Poland, both countries that are members of United Nations and European Union, that are both bonded with the same treaties, which means that they should apply the same rules, those countries have different definitions of the word victim. And what are the differences? According to victim statute, the Spanish law, there are two kinds of victims. One are direct victims, which are those who suffered from any kind of crime. And second, those are indirect victims, considered as those who suffered from disappearance of a person caused by a criminal behavior. In Poland, we have Polish Bill of Victims' Rights, which is slightly different because it considers victims as those, together with their relatives, that suffered in any way from a crime. So we can see that Spanish definition is much broader than the Polish one. And this is the subject of comparative victimology, to see the difference and see what is the cause of it. Both definitions are based on the same documents, United Nations Resolution 4034 from 1985 and European Union Directive 2012-29 and other local acts. Every international act signed by a country implies only the minimum dispositions for a country that they must obey. But those are only the most important things. If a country wants to change something in favor of the victim in this case, it can do it freely. And so Spain did it. Lobbies of victims executed their rights and introduced their wills to the government so that the victim status could be widened. And in that case, they could establish wider guarantees for their victims. In this essence of that is the essence of comparative victimology. Every country, every situation has different needs and possibilities. Because of the same construction, sometimes something has to be changed to fulfill the needs of certain situation. These changes can be then discussed and may be improved. Comparison is the main cause of the change and development, and that is why comparative studies are so important.